You're on the line with Hit the Ropes Radio. Who are we speaking with?
This is Brian Williams from THQ.
Hey, how's it going, Brian?
What's up, man? How you guys doing?
What's going on? Just another day. We're excited about the game. It just released yesterday.
Yeah, it came out yesterday.
Yes, so we're excited to have you on, Brian, from THQ, everybody. Smackdown versus Raw. It's on every major system. This year is, it's been out for years now. It's had its, ups and downs. It's always been the best game for wrestling, but this year it is back. I read the review on IGN not too long ago, and it said that it wasn't good. It was great.
Great. Yes, sir.
Greg Miller, who's the editor of IGN, he gave it a 7.5 one year and a 7.8 one year, but this year it's what, 8.5 or something like that. It's like,
yeah, man, that's right, 8.5. I was beaming when I saw that review.
Yes. Now, there's been a lot of improvements this year. This year's focus is on the interaction. You can interact with the storylines. Tell us about what's new for SmackDown versus Raw this year.
Yeah, okay, I'd love to. You mentioned the storylines and being able to interact with them. That's you're able to do that with our brand new mode we call Story Designer. Very succinctly named. You can basically come into this mode, and there's over 100 cutscenes, animations that you can use to piece together your very own story. We have all the match types available as well. It's really cool. I mean, it's just the amount of options available in the mode itself is unprecedented. Like, it's startling. Just even working on the game, I'm amazed at all the amount of content we were able to include in this mode. And you can create a brand new original story, starring the WWE superstars and divas as well as any created superstars that you may make. And the best part about all this is that once you're done with that story, you can then upload it online to our new WWE Community Creations mode, and you can share that with everybody else out there playing the game. And at the same time, you yourself can go on Community Creations and download someone else's story, play through it. Because, I mean, honestly, there'll be people who gravitate more towards the create modes, and then other people who just want to, play the finished product. So whether you, spend time creating a story or not, you can still go online and reap the benefits of being able to download someone else's story and play it. It was really cool, and, the game's been out a day, and there's already a ton of cool stuff posted on the community creations. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's definitely cool. Go ahead, Shane.
Yeah, hi. How you doing? Now, staying with the storyline mode thing, it's not where you actually, have the choices like you could say A, B, C. You can actually, you the player actually decide what the character will do.
Exactly.
Is that what
you're basically creating the entire thing. And for each match, it's cool that you can have a cutscene. There's one that we've been showing like during our preview tours of the game and showing it to media and everything. There's one cutscene in particular that always gets people excited. There's a scene where a superstar walking the garage gets hit by a car. You could take that scene and, of course, insert any superstar, diva, whoever that you want, into that role of, the victim. And so you can have, like, Chris Jericho getting, hit by a car, but he still has to fight that night. And then you can go set up a match with Jericho, and you can alter the level of his damage. So maybe he has to start the match with, a crazy amount of damage to his chest, and he has to go in it with that disadvantage, but still have to win the match in order to proceed along with the story. And it's the player deciding all these things. It's all up to them. So you can actually create, levels and rules and whatnot for the other player as they're playing through the mode. It's really cool stuff. I'm really proud of what we've accomplished with it this year.
Now, let me ask you yourself, are you a wrestling fan or, just a designer? What's your involvement in wrestling, per se?
Oh, man, am I a wrestling fan? Yes. I think about wrestling probably too much. I know my girlfriend would But, wish that I wasn't as into it as I am. But no, I live, breathe, I love wrestling. I've actually it's funny, I'm thinking about joining there's a school out here in California, and thinking about just, learning how to, just learn to train in some wrestling. I love it.
Wow.
I really do. And working on the game. I mean, honestly, I don't think I could do what I do without being a wrestling fan. Because, I mean, if you
right.
And I think and it's not just myself. I mean, everyone on the team, from guys here at THQ to our developer Yuks in Japan. I mean, everyone is just such a diehard fan of professional wrestling, and not just WWE, but all of it. Like, I mean, I heard you guys are going to have Grizzly Redwood on. That's awesome. Like, I love ROH. I watch it every week. I watch everything. So and I think that enthusiasm that I have and that everyone on the team has, I mean, I think it just seeps into the product. And, I mean, you can tell this is definitely this game's been created by people who definitely have a love and appreciation for professional wrestling.
Definitely. And it shows. It definitely shows. I've had the game, I got every one of them except for last year. I was a little burnt out, to be honest. Things were kind of running together a bit for me. I'm a little excited about this year, though. My wife gives me some funds, releases the funds, so I can get out there and go to Toys R Us and get me a copy. I'm definitely going to do that.
Yeah, I'll tell you, man. It's this is definitely the year to, if you've been burnt out before, this is definitely the year for you to, step back in, a whole new ballpark. This is without a doubt the best SmackDown game in the series. Going back to when it was just called SmackDown to when we switched over to SmackDown versus Raw. This is the best.
Now let me. You reintroduced, I guess, the Backstage. I know that they had at least, for the past couple of years, Backstage areas. My favorite was going outside and hurling snowballs. I don't know if y'all remember that back in the day.
I remember that one.
But that was my favorite part, or climbing up. I think you could climb on a helicopter at one point and just jump down. I mean, just crazy stuff, Are there was, I don't know if it was intentionally built in or if it was a glitch back in the day where you could climb up onto the SmackDown fist.
The fist, yeah.
And jump up. Do y'all have anything, hidden or cool things that areas where you can just jump off of or do anything off of this year?
Well, we don't have anything in them where you can climb on top of anything as high as the old SmackDown fist or anything like that. But we do have new backstage environments you can fight in. More so than we had in 2009. You missed 2009, but in 2009 we had some pretty cool backstage fighting areas, and we've added that again in 2010, and it kind of expanded that to include we've got the dirt sheet set, film set. You can fight in that, and you can destroy the environment, which is really cool. There's one in particular, Vince's office, is really cool. You can suplex people into bookcases, throw weights at the opponent. It's pretty crazy. So I think you'll enjoy it. If you've been a fan of backstage fights and interactions, there's a lot of cool things in 2010. I think you'll really dig it.
Now, Brian, Darius had brought up the whole SmackDown arena with the fist. Are the old arenas unlockable, or are they available at all to play in?
No, we only have current arenas, but you guys, you're not the first one to ask this question about the old arenas, and it's something that we've been thinking about ourselves, is maybe in future iterations having some of the old sets be unlockable. Because I think I've been hearing it enough, and I think there's definitely some. I think that's something fans would definitely appreciate. Plus, it would just show the history of a show like SmackDown or even Raw, where you can have the current set, but then if you want to, especially for something like Story Designer, if you want to do like a flashback story, you can throw in that old SmackDown set or that old Raw's War set. I think that's a pretty good idea. Try to work that into the game some kind of way.
Definitely. All right. Now, let me ask you this. The WWE itself is going through that whole PG era. They recently had the Hell in a Cell, and a lot of fans were complaining that there was no blood throughout the card. Y'all revamped the blood system this time. Was there any conflicts, or thoughts about not having blood on this game? There's been games in the past where you haven't had it, and then you introduced it. Was there any